Oh my gosh, I'm in a really loopy mood. I just had Chinese food. Hey guys, it's Ashley, and today it is time for another review and ramble video. Today's subject is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Let's start with the fact that I actually enjoyed this book more than I thought I was going to. I was kind of wary about it when it first was announced, and then everybody was like obsessing over it, and I still am not at the obsessing point, but I did very much enjoy it. It gets a solid 4 stars from me. For those who don't know about this book, or for those who are confused by what this book exactly is, let me tell you. So about 2 years ago, Rainbow Rowell wrote a book called Fangirl. In this book, the main character, Kath, is obsessed with this book series called the Simon Snow series. Now, it's similar to Harry Potter, but not the same thing, because Harry Potter does actually exist in this world. But it does follow a magician who goes to a magical school, and he's the chosen one, and he's got a roommate that's kind of evil and is also a vampire. Kath is just obsessed with this series. Now, it should be worth noting that the Simon Snow series does not actually exist in our world. It only exists in this book. So throughout this book, you have excerpts of the Simon Snow novels. You also have bits of Kath's fan fiction about Simon Snow. And we all loved it. It was great. We all could relate because of Harry Potter, and it was wonderful. And we kind of wanted more Simon and Baz, but you know, it only existed in this book, so we were okay. But then Rainbow Rowell goes and says that her next book is going to be Carry On, which coincidentally is the name of Kath's most popular fanfiction for Simon Snow. And Rainbow announces that her novel is going to be about Simon and Baz, and the fangirls start freaking out. But nobody knew exactly what to expect, and looking online, people still have no idea what to expect from Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. So this is not the novel, or even a part of the series that Kath in Fangirl reads. Has nothing to do with that series. It's also not Kath's fanfiction. I would say that this is Rainbow Rowell's fanfiction for the Simon Snow series, which is interesting because that means it's her fanfiction for a series that doesn't actually exist in real life, which just kind of hurts my brain a little bit. I say that it's fanfiction because that's kind of how it reads, but also because in the author's note for this novel, she mentions that after she wrote Fangirl, she felt good about where she left Kath and Ren and Levi, but she wasn't done writing Simon and Baz, and so she wrote Carry On as a way to explore what their story would sound like through her own personal words, and what a chosen one magic fantasy novel would sound like in her words, which is a really cool concept, and it came out really fun and really enjoyable. So I don't really know how to rate this story, because it seems very much to me like fan fiction. It doesn't seem like a novel that should stand on its own. However, at the same time, I really enjoyed it. So it's really confusing all the way around. So let's just say that I enjoyed it. It was 4 out of 5 stars. So this novel follows Simon Snow, who is the chosen one. He is the greatest mage of all time, and he is in his last year of magic school. And he's not actually that great. He's kind of the worst, greatest mage you can imagine. He is really bad at magic. It kind of just blows up in his face. He and his roommate Baz, who is coincidentally a vampire, are always at each other's throats, but it kind of seems like there might be something more. And if you're looking at the cover, you know that there's something more that comes along. But it's just a really fun story. Do not compare it to Harry Potter. Don't compare it to anything else you've ever read. It is definitely a Rainbow Rowell fantasy novel. All the things that make Rainbow's books so good and enjoyable are in this book. There's lots of kissing, there's lots of sass, and the whole book is told from different people's points of view. So obviously it's mainly about Simon Snow, and so we get most of the book from his perspective, but we also get to see things from Baz's point of view, and from Penelope's, and Agatha, and also from Lucy, and also from some characters that you might not expect. The storyline was just really good. I will say that this book started off a little bit slow, so I think that contributes to my only giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I just kept being like, okay, when's something gonna happen? But from the very first page, I was interested, and I knew I was going to enjoy it at least a little bit, because on that very first page, there's a line that says, well, I didn't mean to kill that dragon. And I was just like, all right, yeah, this is my type of book. So there's just tons of sass and tons of great magic things, but her world is unlike any other magic world that I've read. Granted, I don't read a lot of magic worlds, but she sets her book in modern times, 2015. So these magicians and vampires are going around with iPhones and computers, and they're talking about current musicians, and they're referencing how they're gonna watch Doctor Who on Christmas, and it's just so fun. One thing I really liked about this story was the way that magic works. You know, we're used to Harry Potter and things where all the spells are in Latin, or, you know, this silly language that doesn't make sense. But in Rainbow's version of things, all of the magic spells are common words. There's a quote that I really liked and that I've already quoted some places already. Essentially, it says that words have power and they become more powerful the more they are said and written and used. And that's how the magic works in this world, is that you tap into your magic and push it into the words that you're speaking and say them with this conviction that they're going to do things. And so some of the magic spells are like nursery rhymes or pop songs, or my favorite one was when Penelope uses "these are not the droids you're looking for" to hide something. Well, I just really liked that aspect of it, because we say all the time that words have power and words have meaning. And you know, working with kids, we say things like, oh, don't say the word stupid, or don't say hate, because that's a strong word. And so I thought it was really interesting to see that just our regular words have the power to create these spells. And I thought that was a really interesting way to go with it. I really enjoyed that part of things. The relationship between Simon and Baz really annoyed me in the beginning. And saying they have a relationship isn't a spoiler, because hello, have you seen the cover? Not a spoiler. But it really annoyed me in the beginning because it was just like all this angsty, like, oh, I love him, but I can't have him because I'm a vampire, and oh, I hate him so much, but he's not here. I gotta go find him. Where is he? Why isn't he here? Really? Really? It was just, I couldn't take it anymore. So once they finally got together, I was much happier. But, I mean, Rainbow knows how to do things. I loved the characters in this book. I thought they were really interesting. I love that Simon couldn't do magic, but he was the greatest mage of all time. I loved Penelope's character so much. I know I said not to compare it to Harry Potter, but come on, we're gonna compare it to Harry Potter at least a little bit. Penelope is a lot like Hermione in that she's very smart, very into the books, knows a lot about everything, and is always there to help Simon. But she was gutsier and more, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, angsty maybe, but not really angsty. She was more realistic, I guess, than Hermione was. She was a more nuanced character, and I really enjoyed her. Agatha got on my nerves throughout the entire book. I was over her, like, from the beginning. She got on my nerves. And then Baz was just a really cool character because of all of his backstory and the things that he was dealing with, and I would really like to know more about Baz. I would like a, pre-carry-on story about Baz and all the things he's had to go through with his family and how he got turned into a vampire and all of that. I would love to read more of that. I loved where the story ended up going and the way things ended up working out with the humdrum and the mage. Yeah, I thought it was a very clever story. The one storyline thing that I did not like, I can't actually say because spoilers, but it had to do with Lucy. Just the things surrounding Lucy made me very, very sad, and the way that it ended with Lucy also made me very sad and disappointed for her and for the other person. I don't think I can. I'm trying to think of a way to say this without spoilers, and there isn't one, so I'm just not going to say it. All in all, this book was just very clever and very entertaining, and I would recommend it. Like all of Rainbow's books so far, I blew through it in a day. She has great books to binge. So if you like Rainbow's books, you are definitely going to like this. It is all the way her, but with the fantasy magic school element. If she decided to put out more books in the Simon Snow world, I would read them. For sure. For sure. With no doubt in my mind, I would read. So I think that's everything I wanted to say on the subject. Have you read Carry On? Let me know what you thought down below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will talk to you later. Bye!